Hello everyone, I'm Amy Gutierrez and this is Shoulder to Shoulder, where we get an opportunity to meet some of the most interesting, influential, and important people in the world of wine, our very own Sonoma County wine growers and winemakers. And today we're going to introduce you to Glenn Proctor of Puccioni Ranch Vineyards. He's a fourth generation wine grower whose family's approach to farming is to let the vineyard speak. Welcome in, everybody. I'm so excited to be at the beautiful Puccioni Ranch with Glenn Proctor, and we're in the lovely Dry Creek Valley.
Yes,
Did I say that right? Lovely Dry Creek Valley.
You got to make sure you get all the descriptors correct.
I got it, and it's true. So it's easy to say because it is absolutely lovely out here. Thank you so much for taking the time to do this. And the Puccioni family, I've already gotten a little tour of how much history belongs here with your family, but give us a little background. Like, how did it start? How did they come to Dry Creek Valley?
Yeah, the lovely Dry Creek Valley.
The lovely Dry Creek Valley.
But so my great-grandfather was born in Italy, and he came over in 1889, and then in 1904 they were able to buy the property. So we've had it in our family for 120 years. When I was a kid growing up, every weekend I was out here. You know, we'd get up at 6 a.m., eat breakfast, then you'd work till 5:30. So it wasn't you come out here, hey, it's kind of neat, I'm just going to sit back and stare and enjoy. You know, it's always been a little bit of a workplace, but I think it's just amazing that we still have this. And we've got the ranch, keeps you busy. I also make a little wine, so I'm not bored a lot.
And the title of this show is Shoulder to Shoulder, and you know about that firsthand, spending time with your grandfather in the vineyards. How do you feel what he taught you influenced how you grow and make wine today?
So he cared about what he did, and he didn't want to waste anything. It was just about pride of working, pride of what you're doing, also respect for other people and just respect for the land and the vineyard.
What do you feel are the best aspects of working in a family business and being on land that you actually get to have some type of contact with generations so far before you? You know, you're touching the same soil, you're working the same vines. That's not something I will ever get to do. What does that mean to you?
Well, I think it's special and you need to appreciate it. And so what we did in 2000, the family kind of got together and we said, okay, we've had it for 100 years. How do we keep it for the next 100 years? So we put a business plan together to try to say, how do we do this? How do we manage it to do that? I really think it's important to know where you came from, what the sacrifices they made. But I think the bond in terms of, like, when I sit with my sister and a cousin and we're talking about what we're doing, and, you know, we've got vines here that were planted by my great-grandfather, vines planted by my grandfather, the barn behind us, and the house was built in the early 30s. There's something there that makes it more special than just having a business. And so those relationships have great value to me.
That's so special and so unique. The Puccioni family has a couple of distinctions that are pretty cool. Were you ready?
Yeah.
I mean, I think you know them. I don't think I'm going to surprise you.
Okay, just checking.
But one of the first Italian farming families in this area. And then I love this, the last family to farm very traditionally with a plow and a mule. Why did you hang on to the plow and the mule method for so long?
It goes back to what we talked about with my grandfather and just doing things the way that he liked to do them. He liked the way the plow cut it. He liked, you know, the mule. I mean, I'm not saying like a dog, but it was his friend, right? It was his buddy. It was part of the relationship. Yeah. So there was value to that. We did that because that was kind of the way things were done. But then finally the mule did pass away. Now my uncle would always say, be careful, because we don't want him to think we overworked the mule. Right. We did not.
Right.
But he passed away, and then we did go to a tractor.
That leads to the next question, which is, how do you today navigate through trying to preserve the legacy and the tradition of how you were taught with technology and technique that allow you to produce more or be more efficient?
You know, everything has traditionally of late been on wires and a vertical trellis system. But we still went and said, oh, let's put half the acres back in head trained vines,
Okay.
which is the way he had done it prior. And, even my cousin's like, well, don't we get less tons per acre that way? I said, yeah, but it kind of honors what we did. And then also potentially there's some qualitative difference in the wine. You try to mix and match and make sure you're making it better, but you're respecting what was done before.
And you said, I also make a little wine on the side. How is that experience for you? What's it like to see your family name on a wine bottle? And will there be more of that in the future for you?
I just like making something that people can appreciate.
Yeah.
And they can enjoy with family and friends. And my history goes back when I was a young child in the house. My grandfather would have the jug of wine and I'd have a water glass and he'd put it was a Kool-Aid, and it was always around though family,
Yes.
friends, people, food. So that's kind of how we try to make our wine. And then I have to say some of my biggest clients are Puccioni relatives because they like to see their name on a bottle.
That's
So,
when family comes in
yeah,
handy.
so it's good to have a big family there.
Last question for you. You're a fourth generation California farmer. What does being a farmer in Sonoma County mean to you?
I just love Sonoma County. We've got diversity. We've got people that care about what they're doing. And I think farming, we talked about leaving and taking care of something and making it better. I mean, we're caring for the land and we're watching it and growing it. You're making things that people consume and eat and appreciate. And so that kind of touching, I think, from being a farmer in Sonoma County is a great honor. And, the challenge is there's a few less. And so I think those that are still doing it, you maybe have to work a little harder, but I think the appreciation is still there and you're doing something that's making a difference. And that's what I enjoy doing.
There's not a better explanation, and it's so wonderful to speak to somebody who's so passionate about what he does. Glenn Proctor, Puccioni Ranch, thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thanks for joining.
Thank you so much for watching Shoulder to Shoulder and joining us as we got to know Glenn Proctor of Puccioni Ranch Vineyards and learn about one of the original Italian farming families here in Sonoma County. We hope you'll follow along as we unveil the stories of our beautiful Sonoma County wine country and the farmers and vintners who care for it. Subscribe to our YouTube channel @Sonoma Wine Growers or visit our website at sonomawinegrape.org.